Hello there, everybody. Welcome back to Circling Seattle Sports. As always, Charles Hamaker here with you. Uh, Starting a new weekly show. So we're adding to our teams of shows. This will be our weekly Seattle Seawolves show. This is long overdue to cover Seattle's professional rugby team. I'm calling it Following the Hunt. Why that name? Well, the Seawolves slogan, mantra, hashtag for past few years has been hashtag Together We Hunt. So I think, well, why don't you follow the hunt? Because essentially we're following what we're doing, what the Seawolves are doing when we cover them. You see what? Sorry. So anyway, we're starting it this week. I've been kicking the idea around a little bit for the year, especially since we started doing our other weekly shows. And so I figured, hey, see, the Seawolves are Seattle's one of the Seattle's more successful teams. I mean, since MLR started, the Seawolves won the first two title matches. So two-time MLR champions. They've been in the playoffs every year that has counted, so not including the 2020 season that got shortened and canceled. Um, every year but one. So including this season, they've made the playoffs every year but one. Um, and it's like when they get to the playoffs, they've never fallen short of the conference final, I don't believe. So, and they've won the title twice. They've been to the title match two other times besides that. So, they're one of Seattle's most successful teams. That's without a doubt. So, yeah, we're gonna go over the last match, the Pride match that helped them get into the playoffs, that sealed that playoff berth. Look at a few accolades, a few call-ups for the Seawolves, and then look ahead to Saturday's match with Jade Stickling from the Seawolves wing. Jade Stickling joined the show for a few minutes. They're actually leaving today. He was getting ready to go to the airport. I think I saw Nick Boyer waiting for him. Jade was in his car. He had his phone up on the wheel, so he joined us. So we will get to that here a little bit towards the end of the show. So, yeah, last week on Sunday, I mean, last this past weekend on Sunday, the 8th, the Seawolves were victorious against the Miami Sharks. The Miami Sharks in their second season in the league. Um, by a final score of 42-17, a dominant win that at times it didn't seem like it was going to be too dominant. It was pretty interesting, uh, to see this match happen. Uh, I was, going into it. Okay, we'll set the scene for you. The Seawolves needed to win, and they needed to collect the bonus point. It coming into the weekend of matches, all that Seattle needed was the win. And I explained it on our Around the Sound, our weekly, our Seattle Professional Sports Daily show. But the way the San Diego Legion had won, it forced the Seawolves to need the bonus point as well. So get the four tries, get the win, you're good. Okay. Things started out pretty well. In the second minute, the Seawolves were able to get a try. Rodney Iona slots the extras to make things all nice just in the second minute. So that's great. Some nice passing early on. Malembe and Pofu gets it through, dots it down. Seattle's on the board within 2 minutes. 16 minutes later, Devon Rousseau, great passing to Duncan Matthews, offloads it to Jade Stickling. Stiggling to dot it down in space. Nice passing right along the line, right down to the sideline. Jade uses that speed as the final man. Clear and away, easy. Rodney Iona slots the extras. Seattle's up 14-0 within the first 18 minutes. You say, okay, they're going to roll to this bonus point pretty easily. Then things started to slow down in the 23rd minute. Devon Russo got a yellow card, his first of two cards in this match. And then 2 minutes later, Miami scores a try. Um, in the 37th minute, Miami got a yellow card, and you think, oh, okay, maybe Seattle's going to be able to take advantage of this. No, Miami actually uh, got a kick right before halftime, and so we went into the half 14-10. You know, Following along with this match, seeing the first two tries, think, okay, they're going to roll this one. And then I see the yellow card, Miami get a try and the kick right before half, and I think, ooh boy. Because, obviously they were on good track to get the bonus point with the two tries immediately, and seemingly rolling along with the win. But then you see things slow down a little bit. I think, ooh, boy, okay. Because Miami was no slouch. Miami was no slouch. I believe coming into this weekend, oopsie, I typed that wrong. Uh, Coming into this weekend, Miami was pretty firmly into their own playoff positioning as well. Um, let's double check that. Well, let's see where they are now. Yeah, so they made the play. Yeah, oh yeah, they were well in. They were well ahead of NOLA Gold. So I mean, Miami was no slouch. You know, so anyway, we get back from halftime, and 7 minutes after the second half had started. Um, oh no, oopsie, I see. In the 43rd minute, so 3 minutes after halftime, Iona finds Duncan Matthews, who was able to put down the third try of the night, and you think, okay, now we're back on track. We get, the passing was pretty fun in this one to see from Seattle. Not super conventional at times, but hey, I mean, it doesn't need to be. Nick Boyer with a nice pass in here. Looks like I know at some point in the match as well, Dan Creel went down, which was not great. Didn't really see, not sure if we got an update on him ever. Um, see if I can find it because I remember I put that out. Um, yep. Oh, I typed my own username wrong. I went to go by name association, Dan Creel. Oh man, was it Dan? Pretty sure it was. That's not great. I see. Um, Sorry, I lost there. 4 minutes after that Rodney Iona to Duncan Matthews for the try play, Devon was issued a red card. And so immediately, Seattle goes down. Um, well, somewhat immediately in the second half, Seattle is dealing with a problem, which isn't great. In the 50th minute, Miami gets their second try of the night to make it 21-17 Seattle, so cutting that Seawolves advantage to just 4 points. And the yellow card to Charles Elton. So there was a point 10 minutes into the second half where Seattle not only had a red card, but they had a yellow card as well, in addition to that. So it wasn't great. But 2 minutes following, that yellow card to Charles Elton to kind of pile things on, Seattle almost seemed to be the team that kicked into high gear to, pull away. It should have been Miami, right? You think, okay, Miami's 4 points down. Seattle's within one try of the bonus point, but they were, a red card and a yellow card in. You think, oh boy. But it was actually Seattle who kind of decided to push ahead. Duncan Matthews got his second try of the night. Roddy Iona slots the extras. Nice little kick ahead pass by Matthews to get things to get in there. Pretty nifty, if I do say so myself. And that makes it 28-17. Then in the 70th minute, Miami looks like they're pushing along here. Seattle had already gotten the bonus point, so it was just about winning the game at this point. And if Miami was able to, dot the try, they would come within four if they had gotten the extras. But what didn't happen? Jade Stighling in the 70th minute, right along as Miami was knocking on the door for that next try with the interception and the score, clearing away. A lot of running for Jade in this match. Nick Boyer got a try to put the little ribbon on top, bow on top of things. Rodney converts, and Seattle with a big 42-17 victory. Two tries for Duncan Matthews, two tries for Jay Stickling, and Seattle pulls away. They get the bonus point. They secure their spot in the playoffs as the fourth seed. Miami, nope. Oh yeah, Miami was the fourth seed, but not the point. Houston is the one seed in the West, who Seattle did beat. Utah is the second seed, who Seattle will play this Saturday. RFC, yes, RFC Los Angeles as the third seed, or Seattle Seawolves as the fourth seed. Um, got it. Um, so pretty remarkable there. Duncan Matthews was named as the MLR player of the match, and I don't blame him. No, I don't blame him. Pretty good selection there to see. Um, just a really big match from Seattle and pretty big for them to show this the way they did. Obviously, they knew coming into this match they needed bonus point, so get the win and the bonus point. It's not the easiest thing to do, especially against again a Miami team that is playoff bound. So a few things there. Again, Jade, I mentioned Jade. And Duncan getting 2 tries each. Rodney Iona missed only one kick in this one, and Dewald Kotze hit a major milestone as he earned his 50th MLR cap in Seawolves colors. So that was pretty cool to see there. Um, from Rugby Canada, obviously to the Seawolves, pretty cool to see that there and honor that milestone for Dewald. So the uh, mm, 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 Seawolves legend, who was honored. It was Pride match, as I mentioned. So was Pride match. Um, the Seawolves legend was Olive Khalifi, who actually is raised by a single mom in the neighborhoods of Delridge and White Center, around where I was raised actually. Um, Pretty cool. So, they honored him. He joined a local rugby team formed by two former U.S. national players who wanted to help kids in the neighborhood. Um, you know, so pretty cool there. Tongan American honored. After appearing in his first World Cup, he joined the Seawolves in their inaugural 2018 season, was part of that original group that helped them, win uh, the two MLR titles, back-to-back MLR titles in their first 2 seasons. I believe he was front and center as one of the league's most respected props. Played in 3 MLR championships, and helped bring 2 of them home, of course, to Seattle. So pretty remarkable. Um, mm, 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 mm. Now he's based in Utah, but he continues to live the rugby values he preaches, volunteering with BYU and the University of Utah women's teams. Oh, cool. Works with local men's clubs and helps coach youth players. So that's pretty cool. He coached USA U18s for several years, often during school breaks, and mentored players through clubs programs in Seattle and Utah. That's pretty remarkable. Um, so pretty cool. Pretty cool. Um, Very nice. Yeah, we'll continue along here with other sort of Seawolves news following the win. The MLR first 15 came out for week 17, and the Seawolves had 3 players, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, 3 players listed here. Rodney Iona, again, as I mentioned, only missed the one kick in this match. Jade Stighling, again, 2 tries. We'll get to our interview with Jade here shortly. And Duncan Matthews, again, for his MLR player of the match performance um, in that win there. So we'll pair these things here. I think looking at it, because we've got a few call-ups to look at, but considering we mentioned that Jade was named the player of named of the first 15, I think we will cut now to our interview with Jade. Jade again joined me. He's headed to the airport, recording this today, Friday, June 13th. He's heading to the airport right now to fly to Utah for that match. So I will throw it to that interview right about here. So welcome back to Circling Seattle Sports. I don't know what I'll call this, but it's nice to have Jade Stighling here from the Seawolves join me ahead of this weekend's playoff match in Utah. Jade, thank you for joining me. Obviously, you guys have to go off and travel here in a little bit, but I wanted to talk to you about the past big win at home to get into the playoffs,
Yeah,
your guys' journey, and obviously previewing that match ahead. So I guess how are you doing? I know it's nice, I'm sure, to clinch a playoff berth, but I know after a long season you might be feeling a little bit, but obviously I'm sure you're pushing through.
yeah. Thanks for having me, Charles. Yeah, I feel like we've been playing playoff matches for the past couple of games. So going into the last game against Miami, we knew our backs were against the wall. We had to get the bonus point win to actually make it through to playoffs. And I feel like that really got the boys excited. I feel like we were really up to the game. And yeah, we pulled through with a good win.
Yeah, and it's so obviously you mentioned you guys knew what you needed to do,
Yeah.
against Miami. Just obviously getting started off right with a couple tries. I mean, I'm sure that was good. You get maybe a little more excited because like, hey, I can see we're putting it all together, right? But Miami was no slouch.
No.
Uh, I don't know. You seem like a pretty humble guy. You had the 2 tries and that big, interception at the end. I mean, how do you feel your game played out? Obviously, it was tough dealing with a few cards throughout the course of the match. But I mean, you had a pretty good performance, MLR first 15 type performance for you. Just how did you like about how your game went?
I appreciate it, man. Yeah, I feel like every game for the past couple of games has been like a playoff game for us. So like it's either show up or we're done with the season. I feel like that was a big thing for us is that we're basically playing playoffs every game going in. And I just wanted to play my role and it's easy with the guys. We have a good team culture at the moment. Obviously underdogs this season. I feel like we were hungry for the win and yeah, just happy to contribute to the team.
Can you speak about that a little bit? Because I'm not, I gotta tell you, I gotta admit, I'm not the super, most versed guy in rugby, right? I mean, it's
Yeah,
obviously very exciting. We've been covering the team for about 4 years now, but obviously, and I'm sure you knew it when you signed back in November of 23, but the Seawolves have this culture of winning, right? I think in every season that counts, not counting 2020, they've made the playoffs and gone pretty deep, knock on
yeah.
wood. Like, can you speak a little bit about what might have changed? Because obviously things were tough. Maybe you weren't getting the ball to bounce your way. And then, like you mentioned, it felt like playoff matches every single week. You take on some top teams and now you're here. Is there anything in particular you think that helped get it started, or was it just this group truly, coming together and I guess locking in?
I feel like that's what it was. I feel like we really locked in. We had a bit of a rough start, and I feel like we actually took out the top teams in our conference, like the games that we did end up winning, and in the other conference as well. I feel like we just made a mind switch. We had a statement from Beast Mode actually that said, "Winning, I mean, talking never won him anything. It's all about that action." And I feel like that's what we try to do. Just try to do our jobs individually on the field, and we pulled through as a team collectively.
Yeah, that that was pretty fun to see. I mean, obviously rugby is pretty physical, and that's a guy that was pretty physical in the sport he played. So
Yeah.
I'm sure that was pretty cool. I'll take it before I ask you about the upcoming match against Utah. I mean, like what has it been like in Seattle for you? Because this is your second season
Yeah.
here with Seattle. I know in Clarkie's statement in his release when the club had signed you, he said that he'll be a big hit with the fans, and I feel like you have been that. But what has Seattle been like for you? Because I know for a lot of the guys I've talked to, Chance, JP, Dan, it's Seattle's a little different from where they've come from, right? So I guess what has Seattle been like for you? Whether that's just experiencing it with family or obviously having Marshawn around,
Yeah.
however you want to take it, right? What is playing in Seattle, being an athlete in Seattle, been like for you?
Oh man, it's actually been an unreal experience. I feel like having my wife over with me as well makes it so much nicer to explore Seattle as well. I feel like we enjoy the outdoors, the fans, and like just the environment that we're in has really been unreal. I feel like one of the big parts in us enjoying it is actually the fans at home. I feel like that's probably what pulled us through the Miami match as well. Like unreal support. We definitely enjoy the Seawolf chants on the side. Yeah, I feel like we've really been enjoying it and looking forward to the next season as well.
And I lied because I thought about this as well. Like, can you talk to me a little bit? Because for fans who don't understand this, like it's always fascinating to me to see the starters and the reserves, and the Seals like such talented reserves that you guys can bring on. I mean, you look at the last starting 15 to have Nick, who's been a huge pickup, during the season,
Yeah,
Malachi, who's an Olympian, right? Like, and then sometimes you are on the like obviously you'll be without Devon, unfortunately, for this upcoming match, but it feels like the depth that the Seawolves have able to have is pretty remarkable. Some weeks I'm like, how is this guy not starting? Like for
yeah,
me, Ina's always been a really fun guy to talk to. And I'm like, oh, sometimes I'm like, oh, Ina's on the bench today. Like,
yeah.
I don't know how, obviously you're not a coach, right? But can you speak, I guess, a little bit about the depth of this Seawolves team? Because again, it feels like anytime, like, God forbid an injury happened, right? But something does happen. Like I think it was Dan came off.
Yeah.
Was it this past match? And I was like, ah,
Yeah.
shoot, like that's not great. But you bring on someone else and it's almost like maybe you didn't skip a beat. Can you speak, I guess, to the depth? Because again, I'm stunned at who the Seawolves can have available in the reserves.
I feel like we have a pool of really talented players at the moment. I feel like any position whether there's an injury or we just need a substitute in that position, I feel like we really have some good, talented players. So looking at Dan coming off and Eddie coming on, it was a big pickup for us to get Eddie back on our team as well. I feel like, yeah, I feel like we just really have a very good group of guys this year, and anyone can play at any time, and we know that they'll get the job done.
Yeah, thank you, man. Again, it's like it's so fascinating each week to see the starters coming out and like, all right, who are you going to be able to bring on if you need it? You know, it's
Yeah.
a testament, obviously, to what the staff does. So yeah, I mean, Utah's tough. They've obviously, they've been tough for a while. What are you? Is there anything in particular you guys are looking forward to? Is there just, playoff rugby? Anything can happen, and it's just up to executing now.
Yeah, it's really that. I feel like playoff rugby, anything can happen. On the day, it's the hungriest team that wins. I feel like we've prepared well. We've obviously taken this momentum from Miami going into this game now. I feel like we can take a few learnings from the last game we played against Utah. But yeah, hopefully the elements aren't the same like it was the last time we played in Utah with the wind. But yeah, we're looking forward to a good game this weekend.
Perfect. Jade, thank you. Is there anything that, you want to promote? I know some guys have different things that they do. It's been cool to see the happy bundles that one of your teammates has got going on. I know Chance is a big art guy. I don't know if you're a big painting guy too, but is there anything that, you want folks to know about Jade, or is it just to tune in on Saturday at 7 o'clock?
Tune in on Saturday and become a Seawolves fan.
Yeah, that hey,
Look
that's
for
pretty
any
good. That
excited.
is pretty good. All right. I hope you enjoyed that little chat that we had with Jade there. Super nice guy. It's always, so fun to do interviews and talk with the rugby guys, uh, just because they're all so humble and so very nice. And the Seals seem to get a lot of great folks, to speak with. So that's pretty remarkable. Um, um, yeah, we'll get to the call ups here. First, for Rugby Canada, Seattle had three players earning their call ups to Rugby Canada's 2025 extended squad. Um, Jesse McHale, Ewald Kutse, and Brock Gallagher were all named to Rugby Canada's 2025 extended squad. So that is pretty cool to see. Um, it's always fun. Any of the teams that we cover, seeing those players earn, excuse me, uh, these sort of call ups to be involved with their national teams because obviously, being involved in the national team is such a big deal. Um, so, uh, the extended squad for Rugby Canada is consisting of 59 players. They will play um, in Edmonton, with Canada playing Belgium July 12th and Spain on July 18th at Clark Stadium. Canada will then begin the Pacific Nations Cup, the team's first opportunity to earn direct qualification for the 2027 Men's Rugby World Cup on August 22nd in Calgary against the US. Pool play will continue on August 30th, with Japan hosting Canada in Sendai. The Pacific Nations playoffs will begin September 14th in Denver, Colorado, with the final set for September 20th in Salt Lake City, Utah. So, rooting along for the boys as though they try to help Rugby Canada earn their spot in 2027's Men's Rugby World Cup. And then two more call ups that we know of, at least. Will be interesting to see if anyone else. Uh, Elijah Wan Noah and Rodney Iona were both named to Manu Samoa's summer squad. And we will go ahead and look at that. Do. Um, hmm, oh boy, we have not updated their Twitter, so I'm trying to find information on this. Oh shoot, that is their Facebook. That is not what I want. Um, yes, okay. Okay, here we go. Yes. So Manu Samoa squad announcement for Scotland Test July window and the Pacific Nations Cup. Okay, also Pacific Nations Cup. Um, Interesting. Key dates. Okay. 18th of July, Manu Samoa. Samoa will play Scotland on July 18th in Auckland, New Zealand at Eden Park. Then Samoa in the Pacific Nations Cup. Samoa. I keep saying Samoa. Samoa. Qualifying for the Rugby World Cup in 2027, August 23rd versus Tonga, round one in Tonga, September 6th versus Fiji in New Zealand, September 14th in Denver, and then September 20th would be in Utah. So there you go. Those are the call ups that we know of now. Again, I'm not sure if we'll see any more, um, but that is what we've got currently. So yeah, looking ahead to Saturday's match, the Western Conference semifinal, Seawolves versus Utah. The Utah Warriors. Just with San Diego, it seems like Seattle and Utah have a ton of tough battles throughout the course of their history. Um, you know, so the Seawolves are having a watch party for this match. Um, Haggerty's Sports Bar at the Washington Athletic Club. That is again the match is on Saturday, June 14th. Kickoff is at 7 o'clock. The party for that watch party is at 6 o'clock. Um, this match will be broadcast on normal Fox 13, so not Fox 13 Plus, normal Fox 13, ESPN Plus, and then goodness gracious, and the Rugby Network for those internationally. So there's some fun details here. I'll include this on the screen. But 6 o'clock, the party begins. 6:30 at Haggerty's, the player arrivals start, and there will be some autographs. 7 o'clock, there will be kickoff. Halftime, there will be a player Q&A and a raffle giveaway. And then full time, sorry, should be at 9 o'clock. Might have to. Well, no, I can't. Tough. It'll be fun though. You look at some of the head-to-head history. Again, it feels like these two clubs have been going at each other for a while now. Um, you know, in total, 14 matches. Seattle's won 9 of them. Utah's only won 4. There's one draw between them at Zion's Bank Stadium, where this match will be played. Again, is Utah is the second seed. 6 games. Seattle's won 4 of them. Utah's won 2. Utah's actually a big match that Seattle won to help them push ahead. Uh, excuse me, to get their playoff positioning. So at Starfire, 8 games, sorry, total between the two teams, 5 of them for Seattle in terms of wins, 2 for Utah, and 1 draw. And we look at the head-to-head history here. Seattle has won 4 of the last 5 against Utah. So including that 28-24 victory back on May 12th. Again, that helped Seattle push ahead to the playoffs. So anyway, that'll do it for our first Following the Hunt. Hopefully, you enjoyed this. I will preface this and say that I am not the most knowledgeable when it comes to the sport of rugby. I've learned a little more each year, and certainly Seattle Sports has covered the team. So, really just happy to keep things going. I believe we started back in 2022. So 2022, 23, 24, 25, 4 seasons covering the team. We have our Seawolves beat writer Uriah, who has covered every single match for us. So we're looking forward to it. So hope to, keep this going. Hopefully we'll have another match to preview next week and hopefully get another player on here. So yeah, man, till we see you next time. Take care of yourselves. Be well. Do whatever you can to make today a great day.